Welcome to the Future Olympian. My name is Andrea Clow. I am the owner and trainer here, and today we're going to be talking about dressage trainers and why we train for the upper body. So this is kind of a concept that we don't even think about. We don't talk about. I don't think a lot of us even kind of comprehend that we have to train the upper part of the body. And no, I'm not talking about our core specifically, because I think that's pretty straightforward. That ties into our hips, and that is where a lot of the power comes from to move with the horse. I'm talking about like our shoulders, our arms. Why do we have to do strength training? Why do we have to train our upper bodies up here, our chest, our shoulders, for riding dressage? It's kind of a weird concept, isn't it? Well, I want you to kind of take a step back and look at these riders with super straight backs. They sit super tall, their shoulders are back, and their heads are held high. And I want you to think about that. What muscle groups are they using to tie into that? Our shoulders, our chest, those all tie into it. And if we just sit back and we kind of draw our shoulder blades back and where they're almost like touching, that doesn't do anything. That actually goes against what we're trying to do. So as riders, we have to be able to allow for our heads to be held high and our upper arms to hang freely and perpendicular from the shoulder, with weighted elbows, relaxed forearms, allowing for this elastic connection between our body and the horse. And this can only happen if we have proper stabilization of the shoulder blades. And where does that come from? Where does that proper stabilization of the shoulder blades come from? It comes from this alignment, from this strength in our bodies. So not specifically alignment. The alignment is what happens when we have the proper muscling. So for many of us, we sit over our phones, over our computers, our shoulders are hunched forward, we're typing away, and our shoulders are up here half the time. Or they're just hunched forward, they're pulled forward. They're not in line with our back. So we have to make sure that they are in a consistent alignment with our body. And we can only have that if we have strength across the pectorals and through the shoulder girdle that stabilizes the, I have all these different names, the shoulder blades, there we go, running through my head. And we have to maintain proper tension in relaxation. I'm not saying you are relaxed. You just have to remain strong in a relaxed manner. That is where the challenge of dressage comes in. So I want you to sit here and I want you to roll your shoulders back. Look how much room you just rolled them back from where you were sitting. It was probably a good ½ inch they moved back, and that is where they're supposed to be on a regular basis. But if we're forcing them into that location, then we cause tension. So we have to take a whole step back here. And we have to look at what kind of training we're doing. Sorry, I need to take a drink here. So I want you to think, how can I begin to move these shoulders back? So if we're sitting here, we're doing arm curls. That's not going to move the shoulder back specifically. Yes, it's going to build strength through the bicep, but it's not going to build strength through the shoulder blade. And we have to do this while using the range of motion of our body, because this is a ball and socket joint. We have a 360-degree turn in our arm practically that we utilize maybe 20% of the time. So if we're only training in like 1% of the movement, so 1% on, if we're doing a 360 and we're only using this 1%, there's a whole 349 or 359 degrees that we're not even utilizing in our shoulder. So we have to take a step back and we have to train this upper portion so that it sits on the shoulder girdle correctly. So doing movements like this, where we're bringing the shoulders back, causing tension across the pectorals and between the shoulder blades. We have to do movements like figure eights, circles, coming across the body, building strength in these specific movements so that we can sit in alignment with our body. So when we go to sit on the horse, our shoulders naturally are back in this movement because they're relaxed, they're strong, and they can hold this position instead of holding this position, right? And I think another part of this that ties into it, that it's not specific to building up the upper body, but when we train our upper body and we train our body in general, we get a lot more confident in our body. So we become proud. We become more content, more satisfied, and happy with ourselves, with where we are, because we feel strong across these areas. We feel supple and relaxed. We don't feel like our confidence slips when our shoulders come forward. And the two correlate so closely, our confidence with shoulders forward, that we don't even realize it. So it's important that we take this step back. We train the upper body so that it sits in alignment. And that alignment is from our ear to our shoulder, to our hip, all the way down to our ankles. We have to have this alignment through the body to be relaxed and supple. And it's all going to tie into one another. Our spine is attached to our shoulders. All through muscling and ligaments and joints is all attached. So if one space of our body is super weak, it's going to affect the other spaces as well. All right, I hope that makes sense. I hope you see where I'm coming from. I know it's kind of hard to wrap your brain around the upper body and why we're training it, but because of the suppleness that we need in this relaxation, how it ties into our entire body, we truly do need the upper body strength to correlate into our dressage riding. So I hope you find this video very, very helpful. If you like this video, please hit like below. And if you like this channel, hit subscribe, and we will see you all very soon.